The northern leaders of Nigeria are still here thinking they want to do jihad to southern Nigeria. Say, don't tell myself, no get sense. They will say Sheun is rude, Sheun na go smoker, Sheun because you people are stuck in some. You want Arabs to see that you are more Arab than them, brother, in the name of jihad, so that they can.
Hello, what's up guys? In this video, a fairy video has just gone viral and it's shaking social media from north to south. A Yoruba man has come out boldly to mock northern Muslim elites, and the things he said are leaving everyone stunned. His question: Saudi princes know they do jihad. Why you? Saudi no send you. From the very first line, he didn't hold back. He said while Saudi Arabia is busy building nations, investing in global tech companies, and hosting events like the World Cup, some people in Nigeria are still talking about jihad as if we are living in the past. He asked, how many Saudi princes are carrying guns? None. They are building empires, buying football clubs, investing billions. Meanwhile, African elites are here dreaming about fighting holy wars. Then he dropped an even heavier bombshell. He said Saudi Arabia has become so powerful that even after their leader was accused of killing an American journalist, the US still does business with them. America still welcomes them, still partners with them. That, he said, is the kind of power that comes from modernization, not from jihad. But the part that is getting everyone talking is when he turned directly to Nigeria's northern leaders. He said, what's wrong with you people? You still want to do jihad to please the Arabs? For what? According to him, some northern elites are desperate to prove they are more Muslims than the Arabs themselves, hoping to earn respect from the Middle East. But he asks, even if you succeeded in conquering southern Nigeria, do you think the Arabs will respect you? He said no, they never will, because what they look down on Africans for has nothing to do with religion. It is because in their eyes, African leaders can't build nations, can't stand on their own feet, can't create powerful economies like Saudi Arabia or Qatar. He didn't stop there. He compared this attitude to Nigerians who travel abroad and face racism or discrimination but came back home bragging instead of speaking the truth about what they saw. He said it is the same with those who go to Hajj. They face humiliation there but come back pretending everything is fine just to prove loyalty to the Arabs. According to him, that's why some northern elites come back angry, trying to prove their word through jihad or religion instead of focusing on progress and development. He said, you want the Arab to see you as holy, but they still see you as inferior because you can't build your own nation. It is a harsh message, but one that is making Nigerians everywhere ask hard questions. Is it true? Have our leaders become obsessed with seeking foreign approval instead of building our own greatness? Guys, I would like to watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
Is Saudi Arabia doing jihad? How many Saudi Arabian princes are riding around Arabia doing jihad, trying to steal land for their people? How many of them are still doing it? They have settled down. They are building nations. Look at Qatar is hosting World Cup. Saudi Arabia is doing amazing things all over the place. In fact, Saudi Arabia owns almost all the tech companies. They have invested their money far and wide, to the extent that their leader topped an American journalist to pieces, and America still does business with him. America still welcomes him. America still allows him to do everything he likes in America. That is the power that they have gotten by modernizing their ideology. You people are still here dreaming of jihad. Take on them, African elites. The northern leaders of Nigeria are still here thinking they want to do jihad to southern Nigeria. Say, don't tell myself, no get sense. They will say Sheun is rude, Sheun na go smoker, Sheun because you people are stuck in some. You want Arabs to see that you are more Arab than them, brother, in the name of jihad, so that they can respect you, that you're Islam, your own Muslim. So wait, when you prove to them that you have done jihad, now let's even say that you northern elites are lucky enough to carry out your jihad and you wipe us out and you Islamize Nigeria. Do you think that the Arabs will respect you as Muslims? See? Because I know that's your problem. Because when you people go for Hajj, you don't come back and say the truth. Just like when Europeans, the southern Nigerians, when you people go to the West, you don't come back and say the truth to your people of what your eye, they see for there. Now they come back and tell how the racism, the discrimination. But you just come back with your fine clothes, start building one house with your fine shoe to show your brother, America is good, they enjoy, guess, yeah. But the things your eye they see, they talk about. Same thing as you northerners when you go for your Hajj. The discrimination, the way they treat your women like friend tell me say any African woman will go for Hajj, they don't respect them. They feel that all because they go with their papa. They say they say all Africans because they touch their breast, they go beat you. I say really? I say never, I can never happen, and I get police. He say if they tell me oh her. So you people go there and you get disrespected. So I know that's why you come here. I want to prove to Islam, prove that maybe they see your brother in the name of Islam, they will respect you. They will never. Because what they hate about you has nothing to do with whether you are carrying out jihad or not. What they hate about you is that you are cowards. That you are men that cannot build countries. So you are beneath them. When they hear you talk about all these things, you want to come and hide money in their country, you want to come and buy house, they see you as inferior. Because you lack imagination. Not because you lack violence. You have killed 60 years, yes. Yes, there's 60 years. So why would they think that you lack violence or you lack... That's not the problem. They don't respect you because you lack imagination.
I am Wilfred Chikbana, but I appear here as the bishop, the Catholic Bishop of Makurdi Diocese, the capital of Benue State in Nigeria. I am the shepherd of one of the 4 dioceses, Catholic dioceses in Benue. We have others, Anglican, Methodist, and Pentecostals, which certainly Benue State has a population of about 6.1 million people, 2 million of whom are those under my care as the bishop of the diocese. Benue State is about 98% Christian, with very few Muslims living in towns. Nigeria and eventually my diocese and the state of Benue have become, in recent years, one of the most dangerous and insecure places for Christians. Christians and Muslims are nearly evenly divided among Nigeria's large population of over 200 million persons. Islamist extremists are fiercely contesting the possession, control, and governing law of the land, especially in the country's northern and central regions, the latter of which is where Benue is located. There are constant ethnic, political, and religious conflicts over land and allegiance. Constitutionally, we are a secularist country, but our unity has been fragile. Political and religious actions and even public speech have been carefully managed to avoid accusations of religious bias and political tensions. Today, the clear influence of Islamist extremists has changed the traditional social dynamics of tribe, ethnicity, religion, and the social status in Nigeria. Because just recently, at the beginning of the Ramadan fast, 12 states in northern Nigeria have declared closed schools so that they attend to this. And you can imagine which other country in the world does that. Saudi Arabia is not doing it. Afghanistan is not doing it. Baghdad is not doing it, but then Nigeria is practicing. What kind of Islam are they practicing? 12 states, and not only Muslims are living in these places. What happens to the educational program or curriculum of the country? But this is what we are going through every day in Nigeria. A long-term Islamic agenda to homogenize the population has been implemented over several presidencies through a strategy to reduce and eventually eliminate the Christian identity of half of the population. This strategy includes both violent and non-violent actions, such as the exclusion of Christians from positions of power and adoption of such church members, the raping of women, the killing and exploitation of Christians, the destruction of churches and farmlands of Christian farmers, followed by the occupation of such lands by the Fulani herders, and also changing the names of these villages. They are taking over the places, so you clearly see an expansionist approach and Islamic, and then they are making the people now flee and leave their villages, and they conquer it. The quest to Islamize the land appears high on the agenda of some of the powerful and influential Muslims in Nigeria. There is a campaign to take land to spread Islam, and there is the hemorrhaging of Christian farmers from the central region of Nigeria and Benue State, Makurdi Diocese in particular, as they are forced to abandon fertile lands that used to feed the nation, which classify Benue as the food basket of the nation. Militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists destroying society. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected authorities. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. This is supported by the corrupt system in which we operate and the abject poverty among us, which allow the criminal to easily attract more recruits and prey on more victims. Why is this happening? Is it really a religious war? Like in the past, many jihadists are motivated less by religion than by spoils of war and use their religion to impose themselves. In my diocese, the spoils consist mainly of fertile, well-tended land organized around my parishes or so. The jihadists come and adopt and kill the priests, leaving thousands without support and basic human services. And of course, when they disperse the people, the inhabitants, or the citizens, or the people of the lands, they take over. And any attempt to go back and take care of your farms, surely you get killed. The Makurdi Diocese in Benue State has been the epicenter of the invasion by these herders, who are more like hired guns of cattle oligarchies, who manipulate religion to rally the herders to eliminate the Christian population and cleanse the land in the name of Islam. This objective is behind the relentless attacks against Benue's villages. When we call for help to the police and the army, they do not come. At the end of 2024, several villages were warned by the attackers of the upcoming violence, and the leaders called the police for defense ahead of time. But they did not come, and the Christian massacres, almost customary, took place, killing hundreds in Plateau and Benue, with the worst massacre claiming 47 people. The militant also burned down the 8 Catholic churches of St. Mary's Parish in the Diocese of Boko, which in Benue State, as well as the parish house, clinics, schools, and other houses. The militant Fulani herdsmen bear on defenseless villagers without consequences. They follow orders to conquer, kill, and occupy. They attack even those who have managed to escape into our IDP camps. Thereby, they have no place to run to. And it is unfortunate that the police system in Nigeria, orders have to come from above. And such, the ones there's a call, and they say they have never returned. And by the time they arrive, these people have left, and the people are now living in the pool of their blood. What I have recounted above is happening not only in Benue State. I believe our experience in Benue is symptomatic of what is happening elsewhere in large parts of Nigeria. The experience of the Nigerian Christians today can be summed up as that of a church under Islamist extermination. It is frightening to live there. Apart from the violent campaigns and attacks against Christian villages, there are now attempts by the Islamic Council of Nigeria and various Islamic groups to impose Sharia law on the Christian populations. Already, 12 states in the north of Nigeria are under this sectarian religious law, and attempts to extend the same to the south of Nigeria, which they have started. This month, governors in the north decided appropriately to close all schools and education institutions during the months of Ramadan, leaving millions of students without learning opportunity for 5 weeks. We live in fear because at any point it can be our turn to be killed, but to remain silent is to die twice. So, I have chosen to speak. I speak on behalf of the millions who are in the camps. In Benue State, in Makurdi Diocese alone, in my diocese, I have about 9 camps. 9. On the 5th of March, which was Ash Wednesday, we visited one of the camps, and many of my priests and religious went to the other camps, distributed them to begin the Ash Wednesday with our faithful who are there, because we are the voice of the voiceless. We have to talk for the defenseless. We have to talk about the weak and those who cannot talk about themselves. In one of the camps called the Mega Camp, there were over 3,000 inmates of that camp, and which was a record given to us by government. I speak on behalf of them and those children who have no husband, who have no father, and even their own voices taken away by the politicians who promised to help them, but have become the willing tools of the jihadists because they are talking politically correct statements, looking for next elections to come. I speak on behalf of those whose loved ones have been killed, but no one has even offered a word of consolation to them. I speak on behalf of the thousands of young girls who have been adopted and raped because no one, not even the media, mentions them anymore. Foremost, I speak on behalf of my flock who are unable to worship freely and unable to return to their ancestral farms and homes because that land has been ruthlessly taken from them by the armed herdsmen. And where they say they want to live in peace with the natives, if you must farm, you have to pay tax to hire the land which belongs to you. That is slavery, to say the least about it. As prosperous Nigeria is in African continent, and I tell you, if there's outbreak of war in Nigeria, no country around us, Chad, Niger, Ghana, Guinea, Togo, no country can contain the population that will flee to these places. No country can be able to house over 5 million refugees. It's not possible because of that. And if 1 million refugees run to Chad and Niger, they'll collapse that country because there'll be no plan to take care of them. So we have to be very careful. Today, I urge you all to use every means within your mandate to to start developing a strong and good relationship with Nigeria, where you know that when you speak of human dignity, you are also speaking of the same God-given right you believe is unalienable. Consider that Nigeria can be your ally, but it cannot be one where half the population is in the process of being murderously eliminated. Work with us, the churches, and other Nigerians of goodwill. We are working for a peaceful and prosperous society, and our desperate plight has been set aside U.S. policy for too long, to the cost of thousands of lives. Concretely, I request and I plead and ask you to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. This has both a practical and diplomatic meaning to signal that you are paying attention to what happens to us and elsewhere in the world, because the policies the government is trying to put in place so that to return the IDPs, build camps for them, relocate them from their homes, it is not durable and it will not work, because the government has already the population that is not able to take care of, and then you have over millions of people in the camps, and you want to relocate them to where? And if you do, let's take that you do, how many houses or rooms will you give me who has 5 children, another one has 3, another one has 2, and what will I be doing for a living? These people previously never begged anybody for food. They were managing their lives, training their children, and building their homes. So nobody should have deceived us on the guys that you're going to resettle the IDPs. They have no jobs. So where you say them, what will be their place? And by the way, the fundamental question remains, if you resettle them to other camps or build places for them, what happens with the ancestral lands? Who takes care of them? And this is whereby I feel the government is complicit on this issue. Because these terrorists, Fulanis, displace and kill people and then occupy the place and then change names, nomenclatures of these towns. For what reason? So we want to let the people go back to their homes and help for them to rebuild their lives. I implore this august body to insist on the return and rehabilitation of all the IDPs to their ancestral lands, and not to relocate them to other constructed camps elsewhere, which is an invented solution now being pushed in the Benue state government. And I tell you, Nigeria government can do that once they have to be accountable. Because I know Nigeria, under the auspices of ECOMOG, was able to reinstate constitutional government in Sierra Leone and Liberia, and they can do that now. We have the capacity, but because the leaders that are not prepared. And I think that's whereby look, it's not just conspiracy of silence, it is aiding, abetting, and supporting these terrorists to keep doing their work. This is my plea. Thank you very much for this attention.